How's it going, everybody? MMA Professor here to do Strikeforce, Fedor versus Rogers picks taking place on CBS November 7th, which is going to be this Saturday in Chicago, the Sears Center. Do a couple undercard picks, and there we go. Mark Miller, probably by KO or TKO over DeRay Davis. Shamar Bailey, decision over John Koloski. Jeff Curran, sub first round over Dustin Neese. Yeah, that's all the picks I care to get on the undercard. So anyways, main card on CBS. Hopefully it's another big card with Fedor on it. Antonio Silva versus Fabricio Verdum. This is going to be a good fight. Verdum is obviously incredibly gifted on the ground. His stand-up is, kind of rudimentary. Antonio Silva trains an American Top Team. He's very well-rounded. The last time he fought a great grappler was Rico Rodriguez, and you can say at the time Rico wasn't, in the best of shape and, whatnot. I'm going to go Antonio Silva by decision. I think he can keep it on the feet, stay away from the ground. He's also pretty good on the ground, so I don't know. He might be able to stay out of subs if he tried to take it down there. But I'm going to go Silva by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Verdum subbed him. I just don't see it. Gegard Mousasi against Sokuju, not for the 205-pound belt, which is weird because, they don't really have anybody else for Mousasi to fight at 205 for the belt, so why not just have it for the belt? I know it's his, Sokuju's first fight in Strikeforce. But anyways, Mousasi, yeah, it might not be as one-sided as I'm thinking it's going to be, but, Mousasi's the more accurate of the punchers, more of the strikers. His wrestling is better. His ground game is way better. I see Mousasi maybe by TKO, end of the first, early second, or submission. Either a TKO or a submission, end of the first, early second. Mayhem Miller against Jake Shields for the vacant Strikeforce middleweight title. Miller, he went 3 rounds with Jacare without getting subbed. So I believe Shields, especially Shields, who's not a huge 185-pounder, coming up, I don't think he's going to be able to sub Miller. Miller's got way better striking, way better than Shields. Shields' striking is not very good. So I see Miller doing whatever it's necessary, either grappling with him and, winning on the feet by a lot. And I'm going to take Miller by decision. I don't know if it'll go 5 rounds. Starting to question that now. Yeah, we'll go Miller decision. 5-round decision. That's how I see it playing out. So I think it'll be a good fight for what it's worth. And now the one that I really am making this video for. Fedor against Brett Rogers. Yeah. Fedor, he's not going to be like an Orlovsky where he gets tagged and, he backs up with his hands down. Fedor gets tagged and then presses forward and comes at you. He's never been KO'd, obviously. He's been rocked a couple times. Rogers definitely has the power to do it. Rogers likes getting into the clinch, using his punches, the threat of his punching power to get in. It's kind of this loopy, weird punching style where he just comes straight at you, and one of two things can happen if he does that. He's either going to get tagged really hard and drop, or he's going to get inside and, he may be the bigger of the two. Not maybe, he is definitely the bigger of the two. He's probably he cuts down to 265, so it's going to outweigh Fedor by a lot. But and clinches with Fedor, and Fedor either gets a trip takedown or tosses him with a judo throw or something to get it down to the ground. One of two things is going to happen, and it's going to happen probably within 3 to 4 minutes of the first round. And Fedor is going to drop him with a punch, or trip and take him down or toss him, end up in side control and Kimura or straight armbar him. 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes of first round. And so Fedor by Kimura. That's how I see the fight going. I've played it out a couple different times, and yeah, Brett Rogers has the power to do it, but essentially, I just don't see, if somebody has like a 2% chance of winning in a fight, you don't pick them to win the fight just to say, oh, dude, I told you he was going to knock him out. So can it happen? Yes, but it'd be kind of, I don't know, it'd be kind of dumb to pick him just based on, the one, ability he has, which is to land a big shot on Fedor. With how good Fedor is, how much better than Fedor is at everything else, Fedor has the better technical striking. He has better wrestling, his judo is better on the ground, he's probably got better cardio. And it's not like Fedor has not fought good strikers. He stood with Krokop during Krokop's prime, and he's fought a lot of other guys that, Arlovsky and, such. So, yeah, Fedor by sub, 3 to 4 minutes of the first round. So, those are my picks for the event, and I will be back to do UFC 105 picks in a couple days. Stay metal. Later.